Hello and welcome to an exciting one, the last stack of packs from our 1991 Pro Set Hockey Series 1 French version of the cards. So definitely a unique look. There's some phenomenal players in here, some cool inserts, and a lot of fun ahead. So we're going to talk about some players, some values. Here's our podium. The best card that we find will go on there until there's only one remaining at the end, and that will be our winner. And as we go through, we'll mention some notes about the cards and just have a good time exploring this particular set and the players that are in it. So with that, let's start with Kirk Muller. Darian Shannon. Chris Chelios. And in this set, there's an elusive, probably one of the coolest inserts. There's a hologram. And a lot of cool holograms from football sets and hockey sets. And I know it was in the Pro Set, but I believe they included it in the OPG, or not the OPG, the French version as well. So I could be wrong, and maybe I'm looking for something that isn't here, though I think it is. So I'm going to be optimistic and keep looking for it, hoping it's going to be here. Maybe it will. And we'll try to find it together, because that'll be a fun one to open, a hologram. All right. We have Sean Burke, Devils goalie, and Russ Courtnall. Quiet first pack. That may be an indicator of what's to come, or it may just be what it is. Time will tell. But what we do have here is a Brett Hull card, which is always fun to get. And here we have a Modern Sport Complex, I believe. And here's another Sport Complex card. Must be during a game. Bob Sweeney. And here we have Mario Lemieux. Very cool. Always great to pull a Lemieux card. Here he is in full action. The card's looking to be in okay shape. I think I see, yep. I don't know if you could see right here. It looks to be like the rollers from the card machines, a dent that runs all the way up. So I doubt this card will have any value at all. However, it's a Lemieux, and in a PSA 10 could be worth around $30. So for now, we'll just put him in a sleeve, and even beyond that, put him on our podium, because he is our current champion, and we're still early. But moving on to Jerke Lume, Jeremy Roenick, his all-star card, Sylvain Cote. We have Jamie McCown, Thorn Fleury from the all-star game, Owen Nolan, Terry Carpenter, Steve Duchesne, Gary Suter, and Brian Bellows. All right. What is ahead? What would you want to find? Of all the players in this year, in this set, would it be Pat Verbeek, All-Star? Maybe Cam Neely? And we have Ray Bourque, the award winner. Ed Belfour. All right. Welcome, Ed. This is a pretty cool one. Value of around $50 or so in a PSA 10. And this one's looking pretty clean. So there may be potential. If not, it may be worth less than $1. That's just how it goes. But either way, in terms of collector value, I think from collector fun, it's always great pulling a Belfour card out of a pack. So we'll keep Lemieux on our podium, and we move on to Mark Recchi. Dennis Savard, Johan Garpenlov, Joel Otto, Dirk Graham, Gary Suter, Mike Ricci of the Philadelphia Flyers, Phil Housley from the Winnipeg Jets, Paul Cavallini, St. Louis Blues, Jean-Jacques Donjon of the Montreal Canadiens, and Rob Kudelski of the LA Kings. Actually, wait, I think I've learned. Let me reverse these. If they open up from the bottom, then the cards will be in the right position. Aha, the trick being that if they open from the bottom. But once they do, then they'll be right side up, and away we go. Rob Zettler of the San Jose Sharks. Neil Wilkinson, also of the Sharks. Joe Malone. That's a cool vintage image right there. Tony Hrock. Craig Cox. Dave Gagne. Dave Caputo. Double Daves. Michael Goulet. Craig Wolanin. Phil Bork. Bob Assessna, Winnipeg Jets goalie. Gary Lehman, Toronto Maple Leafs. Rod Langway of the Washington Capitals. Dave Gagne, I think again. Maybe two cards, maybe the same, maybe different. And Rich Sutter of the Blues. Here we go. Let's try this bottom opening again. There we go. Now we're getting it. Now we are getting it. Terry Sawchuk. Very, very cool historical photo. And Bill Barico. This one's fun. Has some value of maybe around $40 or so in a PSA 10. And definitely a historic game. We'll take a closer look in just a second. Let me get it into the sleeve and just get a feel for the game in that time period, right? So here we've got, look at this arena. You have the ice down here. Fans very well dressed, all in the back. And the players on the ice, no helmets. So pretty fascinating times in the history of hockey. Next up, Vincent Damphousse and Rob Ramage. Howie Morenz. Steve Yzerman in the All-Star uniform. Bob Probert, Red Wings, I think teammate of Yzerman at the time as well. John Ogrodnik. Kevin Dineen. Yves Racine, Red Wings team as well. Vincent Damphousse, we've seen him previously, I believe. Steve Finn. Mike McPhee. Thomas Sandstrom. And Dmitry Kristich. All right. We have turned the corner. We've gone through 5 packs. We have 4 to go. And I think we're figuring out this opening process finally. And Dirk Graham, award winner. And there we have another Wayne Gretzky. Let's hear it. Always great to see him, especially when he's holding an award. And this card is around $25 or so in a PSA 10. So worth holding on to. Although the grading fee alone is that, so maybe just a keeper in general and not a grader. But any Gretzky card you get out of a pack is worth holding on to. Next up, Jeff Hackett. We have Tim Kerr and Dave Taylor. More of the award winners. Jimmy Carson, Greg Adams, Paul Sir, Bob Basson, Ray Bourque. This is in the All-Star, I believe. Yep. And Ron Tugnut, Kjell Samuelson, Neil Broughton of the North Stars. We've got Scott Stevens when he was on the Blues. And Randy Wood on the Islanders. So we have reached the final stretch, the final countdown, if you will. 3 packs to go. And coming out on top is Ray Bourque of the Boston Bruins, Ron Hextall of the Philadelphia Flyers. That's a big one. Avant looks like resurfacing the ice. There we go. Doug Huda. A bonus card, I believe, or a good card. Let me know if you can translate that well. Trevor Linden of the Canucks. Steve Smith. Garth Butcher. Peter Sirkevich. Mike Vernon, great goalie, and he was in the All-Star game. Pelle Eklund from the Flyers. Claude Lemieux, New Jersey Devils. Kelly Hrudley of the Kings. Dino Ciccarelli. And Kurt Giles. On we go. And in here, we have Tom Barrasso. Cool overhead shot. Ken Hodge of the Bruins. Ed Belfour, his award card. There we go. Great to see Ed. And I think we have his player card here as well. This one has a value of around $30 or so in a PSA 10. And for those who may not be familiar, it's very hard to get 10s. Even just pulling a card out of a pack, if the coloring is off, if there's ink smudges, if there's any kind of like dents to the corners or anything except gem mint near perfection, it drops down significantly. So while it may be worth $30, they may also be worth 10 cents. We'll find out, but for right now, great to see Ed. We'll put him on our team. And we have Bob Sweeney. Wayne Gretzky, very cool. His All-Star card. We'll definitely put this aside. Anytime you find a Gretzky, it is worth adding to your team. There we go. And we'll put him there. Kevin Miller of the Red Wings. Adam Graves. Todd Krigier. Kevin Hatcher. Scott Stevens, his All-Star card. Patrick Sundstrom. Eric Weinrich. Vyacheslav Fetisov. Ron Wilson. Guy Carbonneau. And Larry Robinson. And that brings us to the last pack of the last stack of the box. So it is what we have been waiting for. Anything you've been dreaming of may still be in here. So think about what it is that you're looking for and what we could find. And it may present itself as we start with Glenn Wesley. A fitting card number 1 for the first card of the last pack. Chris Terreri, New Jersey Devils. Jeff Lazaro. Ed Belfour again. There we go. Great to see Ed. And the condition is pretty nice in this card. So we will put him aside. This could have a value of around $50 in a PSA 10. And so we'll check that out later and see if it may be up to snuff for grading, but we never know. We have Bob McGill, Sergio Momesso, Dave Manson, Gary Galley, his All-Star card, Andy Moog, also his All-Star, and Paul Eiserbert of that great Red Wings team, Stefan Matteau, Joe Nieuwendyk, Glenn Healy, Brian Propp, and lastly we have Grant Fuhr, phenomenal goalie, and a great card. So there we go. Let's check out our team for the day. First up, we have in the podium Mario Lemieux. And then next up, a few different cards here. We'll go with our Wayne Gretzky, his All-Star Game card. And then we have the Belfour, just to make sure, yep, that's Belfour with the award. Gretzky with the award. We have the game in action. And then we have two of the Ed Belfour player cards, which are always great to see. So let's lay these out and put them all together. I think we could probably do these down here. And then these two right up here. Perfect. So what a great team. What a great find. And a lot of fun looking through this set. I think overall a nice one to check out. So I hope you learned something and I hope you had fun along the way. There you have it. Until next time.